Alrighty, folks, we are back here with another screen recording on the custom keychain project that we're doing here. And in this video, we are going to talk about all to make your Cura and importing your models into there for slicing. So to start out, once you are done with modeling an Onshape, and once all of your group members are done modeling an Onshape, you're going to start by sending all of your designs to a Teams chat. It should be a little bit easier to have all of them all in one single location. So one of your group members is going to go ahead and create a new chat, and they're going to go ahead and begin by adding all of your group members' names in there. So just go ahead, begin clicking them in. I'll go ahead and add some boys here from the engineering program. There we go. All right, cool. So now that you have your group members' names added into here, you can go ahead and insert your STL file by hitting that and upload from computer. You're going to go to your STL file and you're going to hit open. Go ahead and get that baby loaded up there and go ahead and send it through. Once you have sent that through, it should be accessible to all of the group members, and then the rest of them can go ahead and send their STL files in. While they are sending their STL files in, one of your group members who has access to this Ultimaker Cura program is going to go ahead and open it up. This is the meat and potatoes of 3D printing. The only thing you do on the 3D printer is put the color filament in, preheat it, press print. It is that simple. Everything as far as the temperature to the heat settings to the speed settings to the layer settings to the infill settings to the support settings, this, that, and the other, the material type, all of that happens here. All of the settings happens here. So it's really important that we set this up correctly. So once you have those files in Teams, one of your group members is going to download every single one of those files. And now that you have Ultimaker Cura open, you're going to go to Insert File. You're going to find that STL files, the STL files that you have downloaded, and you should be able to open them up here in Cura. Now that you have them open, you're going to go ahead and arrange them. That's the very first thing we're going to do. So as we click them, we'll drag them around and we'll just place them as need be. We should not need to scale. We may need to rotate. So if you need to adjust them, you can rotate them using the rotation tool here. But more importantly, we're just really trying to arrange these so that they look nice on our build plate. The next thing we're going to do is go over to our printer settings here and just make sure that we have it set up correctly. Ideally, we want to, and I'm going to go to custom so you can see a little bit more of these settings. Ideally, we want to have a 0.2 millimeter layer height. We want to have about a 20% infill density. The printing temperature should be set correctly at 220 degrees Celsius. The build plate temperature should be 60 degrees Celsius. And our print speed, we are going to set to between 55 and 60. So I'm going to put 55 right here. Most of us are not going to require any bit of build plate adhesion or any support. There is an occasional group that I might talk to that I might have add support to their file. But for the most part, you should not need to. Once you go ahead and you set up all of your slicer settings the way that they are intended to, the very next thing, well, we probably should have done this first, truthfully, but that's making sure you have the correct printer selected. So we might have a couple different printer profiles in here. I know that I do. So I have a couple different printers in my room, which require a couple different profiles as they are all different sizes. So I'm going to select the correct printer for my application, and your printer or your teacher, aka me, will tell you which printer we're going to use in which profile that I want you to set up and use. So just keep that in mind. All right, once all of that is done, we're going to go ahead and we're going to hit slice, and it's going to chop that print up and going to go ahead and provide us our output. So you can see here that I went from prepare to preview. And in here, this single keychain is going to take 15 cents. It's going to take 7 grams of filament, 2.44 meters of filament, and 54 minutes to complete at 16 layers. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at this file here. Let's take a look at this model. So if I zoom in, there we go. If I go ahead and I zoom in on my model here, you can see our individual layers. And I can even, let me line it up perfect. I can even move up and down to show this building layer by layer. It's really an incredible thing. The other really cool thing I can do is I can actually have this set up so that it plays out exactly how this is going to build. I could watch this for hours, folks. You think watching the 3D printer build is fun? I think watching it fake print it on the computer is fun. So you can see here it's going through, it's doing its thing, and this is all of the strokes on layer number 16 for this model. So once you go ahead and you have that all set up and you've had your fun messing around and watching the print previews, you are ready to save this. When you go ahead and you save to disk, this should and is going to save as a G-code file. 95% of the time, 3D printers read in G-code files. So that's the kind of file that's the language, so to speak, that 3D printers understand. If you try to take that STL file and you try to send that to a 3D printer, it will not work. It needs to be in this G-code file in order for it to operate correctly. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to name this very specifically group and then the table number that we are sitting at. So I'll say 2 and then TS and then whatever time slot you are. So I'll say 9. So group 2 time slot 9. And we're going to go ahead and we are going to hit save. I'm going to put it in my downloads and we're going to go ahead and hit save. Once you have that file saved, whoever is helping out with this Cura, obviously all the group members are helping, but whoever's computer it is that they are doing this on, they are going to upload that to Schoology so that everybody in the group can receive credit for this portion of the assignment. And then once you are done with this, you're going to go ahead and notify the instructor, once again, aka me, about this so that we can go ahead and get you guys set up and get you going on the 3D printers. And before you know it, you'll have your completed keychain. So this one was a little quicker, but hopefully helpful for you as far as setting up your slicer and getting ready for that. Until next time, folks, have a good one.